On Wednesday, April 3rd, 1912, the Titanic arrived in Southampton, the second of three luxury liners built for the White Star Line in Belfast. She moored at the White Star Dock, now known as Ocean Dock. Most workers in the city serviced the liners in some way, loading passengers, cargo, and coal, and supplying food, drinks, and flowers. Over 700 of the Titanic's 900 crew came from the city. Deck crew, boilermen and firemen, cabin stewards and stewardesses, waiters and cooks. Most of them lived in the northern district, squeezed into small, poor quality houses in an area which often flooded. And due to a coal strike, 17,000 were without work. Coal for the Titanic was found by raiding other ships laid up in port, and it was announced that she would, indeed, be sailing on time. Oxford Street, the centre of the city's liner business, sprang into life. Today, most of the buildings of that era still stand, and the White Star restaurant displays the line's flag. Men rushed to the White Star offices, still to be seen in Canute Road, to sign on as Titanic's crew. A number of them gave this large, red brick building in Oxford Street as their address. It was a sailor's home. Most passengers arrived by train. The station is now a casino. First class passengers often stayed in the Southwestern Hotel next door. In the Grapes pub, where you could still go for a pint, brothers Bertram, Tom and Alfred Slade were drinking before joining the Titanic as firemen. They left late, were held up by a train crossing the road at the docks entrance, and missed the ship. On Wednesday 10th April 1912, Titanic cast her lines and, accompanied by cheering crowds, slipped out into Southampton water, beginning the most famous maiden voyage in history. She had travelled most of the way to New York when she struck an iceberg. Only a third of those on board survived in her lifeboats, picked up by the Cunard liner Carpathia, whose captain, Arthur Rostron, himself lived in Southampton's suburbs. Back in Southampton, as the news of the disaster started to arrive, the whole city was in shock. Relatives of the crew stood outside the White Star offices in the freezing cold for days, waiting for information. But only when the surviving crew returned could the appalling facts be known for certain: that of the 700 crew from Southampton, over 500 had been lost. There were streets where every house had lost a family member, and every child had lost a father. Mrs. May here lost her husband and her son, leaving her with her own 8 children, her daughter-in-law and her baby. Southampton Mayor Henry Bowyer opened a relief fund for the families of those lost, and Miss Ethel Newman was appointed as a lady visitor. In today's Southampton, the Sea City Museum is mainly devoted to the story of the Titanic and of its crew. It includes a floor map showing where each of the lost crew lived, and there are a number of memorials, including one to the engineers in a city park. Close by is this one to the musicians. This postal workers' memorial is in the Civic Centre, and in St. Joseph's Church there's an information board in the window, and inside, attached to a table, is a small brass plaque in memory of the restaurant staff. But one memorial stands out from all the others. Holyrood Church has traditionally been the place where Southampton sailors went to pray before they sailed. Reduced to a shell by World War II bombs, it is now dedicated to all those in the Merchant Navy who have been lost at sea. It contains the most poignant Titanic memorial, commemorating the crew, the stewards, the sailors, and the firemen of the Titanic. The money for this memorial was raised, despite terrible financial hardship, by the friends and families of the lost men and women of the Titanic's crew, who were determined that they should never be forgotten.